Hello, everybody. How you doing? I'm here today because I am a little bit not sure what's going on. I received a letter today that I'm actually tripping on, so figured maybe like Julie Pom Pom actually might be able to help me with this. She's probably dealt with passport deals here, maybe in the near future. But I'm like tripping on what I'm seeing. I got a letter that I'm like, okay, wait, what? Well, just a second here. Uh, okay, so the headache. I hit Discord now. Click on this channel. Yes, not here. I'm here. Hi guys. So anyway, yeah. So interesting little thing. So obviously, you guys know I'm trying to go to Australia, and I've been talking about it or whatever. So I spent like all this time, right? Like just painstakingly putting all these things in order, and like I don't know, it's weird. Like I was like going down to like local post offices and talking to the passport agents, making sure I had everything all in order, everything I needed, everything proper, everything just right, right. And then I go down and I submit it all, and they check it all, they check it all, and they check it all. And then whatever, I walk out of I went down to the federal building itself, right? So I get a letter today that's asking me to send an original of my birth certificate through the mail to them. And I'm like, wait a second, why would they ask for that? And I'm like sitting here wondering like if it's a scam. I don't know, it's weird. The envelope itself has no real official kind of seal on it. The letter inside does have like a seal on it, but I don't know, it's just weird. It doesn't look like very sophisticated, like the seal doesn't look very official. And I don't know, it's just bizarre to me. Really weird that they're asking for something that they already verified and have a copy of. I don't know if anybody here is. I don't know if anybody here has had to go through it or has done this, but like I said, I already filed all this stuff, and I went down there with my originals of everything, my original birth certificate, my original driver's license, I should say my current driver's license or my current identification, right? Went down there with those things, and here's the thing: they obviously didn't have a problem with the birth certificate copy because they didn't recopy it. They didn't like the copies of my driver's license that I had for whatever reason. They just didn't like the way that those copies looked. They were maybe too dark or too whatever. They ended up putting my driver's license on their own copier, and they copied it themselves because they wanted it to look a certain way, which is fine. I get it. Okay, they want it to be clear, right? But they didn't do that with my birth certificate. They inspected all that, the original, the copy, and they did all those things. And then she went ahead and started, stapling it all in whatever to hand him, to be able to be handed over to the clerk that I had to go see, because then they give you a number and you wait to be called, right? So the guy calls me up, and like I said, all this stuff has already been verified and everything, and he didn't ask for my original birth certificate again or anything. So as he was checking all the paperwork, so it's weird to me now that I'm getting a letter that's asking me to send that. It's just odd to me. It makes me go, is it a scam? So I have to call in Monday morning. Unfortunately, I have to wait. Probably gonna have to wait till Monday morning to be able to call in and check and make sure that this is legit. Because, yeah, I mean, I'm just leery about sending personal documents like that through the mail. Period. So it's just odd. So I have to make sure I have to call in and check the status of, the passport first and find out, make sure it's legit, because it just strikes me as really odd. I don't know. Anybody else had that happen? Smart license. Well, whatever it was, they made copies. They made, I mean, she made new copies of, you know, of my driver's license because for whatever reason they just didn't like the ones that I had brought, and they recopied it. She easily could have done that with my birth certificate, right? If she did it with my driver's license, she easily could have went, you know what? Let me just redo this too, right? She could have, right? Right. Okay, that's what I'm getting at. This was striking me odd about it. I'm just like, oh, this is weird. I don't know if, I mean, I'm not trying to call out the passport agency or anything or anything like that. I'm just wondering if it's a scam because, I mean, I'm looking at the seal on this letter and it's just like, I mean, you look at the passport agency's paperwork when they're asking for your birth certificate. Your birth certificate has to have the perfect seal on it with this seal of the area you were born, and it has to have this and that and the right person's signature, and it has to have, you know, there's like this list of things that it has to have in order for them to consider it valid. And by the way, I went through this list and checked on my and my birth certificate that they have a copy of meets all of these requirements. So I'm sitting here going, okay, you know, it was filed within a year. It was definitely filed within a year of my birth because it was filed in a week, basically a week after I was born. I mean, it's weird. It's just strange to me that they would then be asking. And the other weird thing is the Los Angeles Passport Agency is in Sterling, Virginia. I mean, I guess, what is that? Every branch of passport agency in the federal buildings across the United States, maybe they have like an office there in Virginia somewhere. I don't know, but it struck me odd as the Los Angeles Passport Agency in Virginia. So I was just like, just a few things were just making me go, what? Wait, what's going on here? So I don't know. Has anybody ever been going through the passport process and had the actual, you know, passport agency actually ask you to send your real birth certificate after you've already shown them and verified it? Has anybody ever had that happen before? I'm just wondering. I know they need the original. So Panobs from Australia. I know they need the original. That's why I took it with me down there originally, and they verified it. That's what I'm saying. It's odd. What I'm saying is odd is that they're asking for it now. They want me to send it to them through the mail. I would have been much happier if they would have just held on to it that day and then sent it back to me with my passport. This is what's striking me as odd about it. It's, you know, it's just striking me a little odd. You know what I mean? That's probably a good idea if I can get off early one day this week. Julie, that's actually maybe a good idea. I bet if nothing else, I could get an answer maybe from the security guard. I'm gonna call in, like I said, on Monday morning. I'm gonna call the automated number and see what it says about the status of my passport to verify. I'm not doing anything this weekend. I'm not acting on this weekend at all. I'm not waiting until Monday when I can actually find out if it's legit or not, because I'm just not very impressed by the letterhead on this letter that I've received, especially with all the fuss they make about having the official seals and everything on whatever. When I had everything, I got all my ducks in a row. I was going down to passport agency agents at the post office and talking to passport agents and everything, all before I ever went down to the actual federal building to do this. So I was getting my ducks in a row and making sure I had everything right and making sure I had everything correct, just so that I wouldn't have any problems. And then suddenly this happens. And then I'm like looking at this letterhead going, this is very unimpressive. I mean, it doesn't look very official. There is a seal up there, but it looks like something that anybody could have gotten from like a print shop or something. It looks like, you know, like the federal eagle with the arrows and the olive leaf and all that kind of stuff, or the oak branch or whatever it is. And it looks, I mean, but it's really unsophisticated. It looks, I don't know if I can let me see if I can try to show this on camera, if I can get it to focus. I don't know. You can see what I'm talking about kind of, but if you guys could see it in more detail, you can tell it just looks really kind of cheesy. It doesn't look very official in my opinion. So, anyways, I'm gonna have to make sure. And fortunately, I still have it's it's only the second right now. I still have 16 days. The process is I'm on the expedited process. So if this is all in fact legit, I will be able to send this to them. I'm gonna probably do it certified mail, and whoever receives it at the other side is gonna have to sign for it or something like that. But um, I'm going to send it if it's legit. I'm going to send it, and then within another 5 days from then, I should probably get my passport. So no matter what, I should have it before the 18th, and I should be good to go. But yeah, this is exactly the type of thing I was trying to avoid. So it's just like, oh my gosh, I was so diligent. I was so diligent about trying to make sure I had everything lined up and everything right and everything perfect. And then now this, and I'm just like, no, 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 no. I even had my travel itinerary there with me so that they could, get that. And just, I'm just like, man, it's a bummer. It's really a bummer. The problem is when you go down to the federal building, you can't even get in the doors of the building if you don't have an appointment. So that may be a problem, but I may be able to talk to the security guard and say, hey, listen, man, does this look like the official type of letter from the passport agency to you? Because I was down here recently. And the last time I was down there, one time I went down there not knowing I couldn't go in without an appointment. And I went up there, and the guy asked me if I had an appointment. I said, no, I just came to ask some questions, actually. And he said, oh, well, hold on. He goes, and he went and got me every form I needed, and all that sort of stuff. He went and got it for me and came over and talked to me a little bit about it. So he may be receptive if I stop by there one day this week. And he might be able to at least let me know if it looks legitimate or not. But I'll probably be able to find out Monday morning by calling the automation. I'll be able to call the automation and find out if they really are asking for that. Well, yeah. Well, I just need to find out if it's legitimate. If it's legitimate, great. If it just looks a little wonky, so it's like, I'm not in the habit of sending around like my official documents and stuff like that just willy nilly. It's just weird, and especially since this was all verified that day, so it's just a little weird. Um, and like I said, if they wanted it, if they wanted it, I would have preferred they kept it that day, just kept it there, and then just ship it back to me with my passport. Because right now I'm looking at it going, wait, okay, if I do send this in right now, you've already verified it once. If I do send this in right now, what do I do if you guys ask for it again? Because you've already verified it once and now you're asking for it. So if I send you my only copy, what do I do if you ask me again? I mean, I'm like sitting here going, what's going on? This seems odd. And I don't know. It's just strange. I am running out of time. They should have kept the original. But they did when I applied. So maybe that's the problem. Maybe they slipped up then. Maybe they were supposed to hold on to that and didn't, but she handed it back to me. So I don't know. That's really odd. The 18th. This month, the 18th. I'm on the expedited process. Literally, I was supposed to get it within 7 to 10 days, but now this little hiccup. So it sounds like from what Julie's saying, it may be they were supposed to keep it and didn't. Um. So okay, well that may be then. I may have to send it into them. So yeah, mine is a certified copy from the county. That's what it is. Yeah, it's passports all federal. Yeah. Don't take the question strangely. Were you born in a military base? Nope. I was born in United States of America. Well, it's hard to go in person. Like I said, you gotta. They only let you in the doors of the building if you have an appointment. That's the thing. You can't get in to talk to anybody unless you have an appointment. They should have kept it. Hey, all right. Well, all right. I'll have to. Sounds like I might be sending it. So it's fine if if I have to send it Monday morning, then that's fine. It'll get there in a couple days. I'm on the expedited process, so literally as soon as they have it in their hands, they'll be able to go, okay, boom, boom, all right, issue, boom. So, and then hopefully I'll have it back within a couple days. I should have it hopefully by the 10th, maybe even the 12th. And then like it's well, like Mr. Capaldi said, getting your visa takes like an hour or two. Doesn't even it doesn't take long at all, and it gets electronically attached, I guess. So it's like it happens almost instantly. So so I'm looking at, even if it's 10 days from right now, that's the 12th, I'm still looking good. I don't need to panic, you know. Oh yeah, I'm absolutely going to verify. I feel very, very weird about sending things like this in the mail, especially since it seems like this is not the kind of screw up they would have made, because you know this is their job and they know what's required. So it's like it seems a little odd, So okay, okay. It's I mean that's why I have to double check, because there's just so much about it that's just seeming a little odd. I just have to double check. And like I said, fortunately, I'm not super under the gun. I'm on the expedited process. I paid the extra money to be on the expedited process, so I'll get it. I'll get it quickly. If in fact this is all they need, I'll get it quickly. So I'm still looking okay. I'm still looking good. We should be all right. They can be, obviously this guy kind of messed up. I will say this. I'm actually thinking, I'm not surprised now, because he almost miscalculated my fees. I had done so much work in dotting my I's and crossing my T's on this, that I had shown up with a money order for the exact amount of money that I needed. Okay. He almost forgot to charge me for the expedited process, which was $30. He told me the price, and it was $30 less than the money order I brought. And I go, hey, you know what, dude? I go, sorry, but the money order's already made out, so I'm just gonna have to give you guys an extra $30. And he kind of looks at me for a second, and then he goes, and he looks back at his computer screen, and then he goes, oh, that's right. Yes, for expedited. Okay, yes, it would be the extra 30. And then turned out my money order was right on the money. So it was interesting. So he kind of made that mistake. He kind of overlooked that. So yeah, it's seeming more and more possible now that this could have been his mess up. You'd think it would be pretty obvious to these guys. I mean, they process these things all the time, and they know if they needed an original birth certificate that would be something that would stand out, because it doesn't look like a normal piece of paper or a copy. It's got all kinds of watermarks all over it. It looks, it stands out in a stack of papers. Anyway, so I don't know. Seems odd, but there we are. So, anyways. Trav here? Oh yeah, there he is. Hey, what's up, Trav? So, what do you know, Trav? Have you applied for a passport recently? Did they require you to go down there with did they keep your birth certificate and send it back to you with your passport? I have to have the passport first, don't I, Trav? The visa will take a couple hours. Paul got his in 2 hours. I'm going to try to move around as much as I can. As soon as I can make sure that I'm going to get this passport, then I'm going to start looking into what I'm going to be doing. But I'd like to try to travel around to try to get as close to as many people as possible. So on maybe some day trips. But obviously I'm going there to visit my good buddy Mark too. So, but we'll see what we're going to work out. I mean, I'm planning to meet up with a lot of cool supporters over there. Penelope Muldoon, one of my faves. So, you know, and many others, you know, it's, you know, I'm looking forward to it. So, but I haven't been reluctant to get like too excited and into planning until I can make sure that I got this darn passport nailed down. And today I got this letter and I'm like, no, after all that painstaking research and making sure I had everything, all my ducks in a row, this happens. What? Anyways, yeah, so isn't it the way of the world? Yeah. Well, but they won't have a passport to attach it to. I got to have a passport. If I ask for a visa with no passport to attach it to, how are they going to attach it to me? That's the problem. I got to at least wait till I have a passport, right? Otherwise it won't work. I don't know. Maybe, who knows what happened there. It was I don't know, but that's fine. If it's that simple, I can ship it. I can send it off, and they'll get it within a couple days, and then within probably 3 to 5 days of that, I will probably have the passport back along with the document that I'm sending them. If that's what ends up happening. Like I said, I'm going to be double checking Monday morning before I do anything, but I will have it all ready, packaged, enveloped, you know, addressed, stamped, and ready to go Monday morning, so that as I'm calling on my way to work, and everything, I can, and I find out that it's legitimate and all that stuff, I can drop it at the post office as I'm driving. It's right there by my work, and I can drop it at the post office there real quick, and then that way it's in the early morning and it's getting out as soon as possible, and on its way. So I got it all planned out. So like I said, I'm not super under the gun. I'm on the expedited process. So if in fact this is all they need, I should be able to resolve this. So like I said, it's just one of those things due to security concerns. Just want to be absolutely sure and certain about everything about this, because the letter just looks a little less than professional to me as having come from a government agency. So anyway. So let me just read it. It says, "Dear Mr. Irakoze," it doesn't say Irakoze, but anyway, "thank you for your recent passport application. In order to continue processing your request, we need evidence of your U.S. citizenship, which they have in the form of a copy. Thank you for your recent passport application. In order to continue processing," it says, "please submit your original or certified U.S. birth certificate. For the birth certificate to be acceptable, it must be issued by the Office of Vital Statistics of the state, county, or city where your birth occurred. It must show your full name at birth. It must indicate your date and place of birth. It must list the full name of your parent or parents. It must bear the seal and the signature of the issuing authority and indicate a registration or file date that is within 1 year of your birth. It meets all those requirements. Then it says, to obtain this document, please contact the appropriate vital statistics office of the state or the area in which your birth occurred. For more information on obtaining birth records, you may visit the Center for Disease Control at whatever website when you receive your new certified birth certificate. Please forward it along with this letter to our office. For general passport information, go and check. You can go online to travel.state.gov, but when I went there, it actually gave me an error message. It was weird. And then return a copy of this with, and make sure it talks about addressing the letter correctly. But that was it. So I'm just sitting there like, what the hell? Oh, mine's a pain too, because when I went and got it, because I was born in between these certain years where they allowed parents to put their social security numbers on a birth certificate, and now the county registrars, they don't issue birth certificates out that if they have those, if it's in between those years, they aren't able to give it to you that day. They make you wait, because they have to go and get it, and they have to actually get in there and block that out and then send it to you. It's nuts. It's crazy, but it's the way it is. So it took me 2 weeks, almost just shy of 2 weeks, for me to get it in the first place, before I even ever went down to the passport agency. And so it's just like super frustrating that this ended up happening. It's just like, oh my God, this could not be any more frustrating, really, seriously. It's just, well, like I said, I'm not going to do it until I can verify it. I don't know. I see some people saying don't do it. When I can verify that they really do need that, and it sounds like what Julie is saying, that they kept hers and sent it back with her passport. So if that's the case, then that's fine. As soon as I make sure that that's the case, we'll they return the original. So even Travis is saying they do that. So okay, so it appears that that clerk should have retained my birth certificate and didn't, I guess. So let's see what the actual passport application says. It says proof of U.S. citizenship. This is what you have to submit. This, you guys, for those of you who don't know, this is the actual passport application form that you fill out. And right here, right up here is where they tell you what the requirements of what you have to do it. So it says evidence of the U.S. citizenship and a photocopy of the front and back, if there is printed information, must be submitted with your application. The photocopy must be on blah 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 blah. Evidence that is not damaged, altered, or forged will be returned to you. Which it was. It was returned to me, right? So that's the way I didn't know that it was going to be returned to me with my passport. They might actually put that in the description to prevent future confusion for people. Yeah, so it doesn't say anything about when they're going to return it. So it was returned to me, so I figured that was it. It was done and over. So, all right. Well, anyways. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop off at the post office on my way into work. And, oh, actually, that might be a little bit of a problem. They'll be opening as I'm supposed to be arriving at work. Well, I'll have to try to work it out with the boss man. Oh, wow. You erroneously entered the wrong birth for your father. And oh, wow. Or you like they thought you were scamming, so you're like stuck in limbo now? You don't have a passport place to go? Pom pom, you're funny. I know. What happened? Gosh darn it. I am. I'm gonna be checking out a lot of things. I just wanted to hear other people's opinion if this, if this was actually, yeah, we certainly can. So, anyway, enough about that. I think, I think judging by Julie and Travis, I'm gonna find out Monday morning when I call in that this is probably legit. In which case, on my way to work or possibly on my way to my first job site, I'll stop off at the post office and make sure it's on its way. That way, it's on its way early in the morning on Monday, and it gets to its destination as quickly as possible, and that will expedite it. And there we go. That's it. So I just wanted to hear other people's thoughts on this. Nothing to get really excited about. Like I said, I was diligent in prepping for this. So I mean, it's good to go. It's just I'm gonna have to send this thing over to them because the guy forgot to keep it. So it's just whatever it is. It's luck. Me and Murphy's Law. Me and Murphy, we're tight. We're like this. No, I'm just kidding. I wish we weren't, but anyway. So, anyways, that's where we're at. No big deal. I think this is gonna get worked out. No problem. I thought you were coming back in June, Pom Pom, and you were gonna go. You're gonna stop at the rally on the way back. You coming back sooner now? Oh, okay, Trav. Yeah, I will. Yeah, so just so you can see it. I mean, the seal at the top just looks a little unsophisticated, really. Okay, so good. Okay, all right. I was just wanting to make sure that it was around that time, so that everything was still on the mark. So that's good. I'm cool, Pom Pom. Order copies of your BC. Don't release your copy. For a visa, you need reason and money. Yeah, but in order to get the visa, I have to have the passport. It's just a necessary, part of the process. Um, so, anyways, like I said, got to verify first. It's always good to be careful. And like I said, because I'm on the expedited process, I can wait till Monday morning. I can get it and still get it in the mail Monday morning. And then it'll be to them. And I say, like I said, within 3 to 5 days from then, I'm going to be having the passport in my hand. So I'm going to probably still have it well before the 18th. I still got a little bit of a cushion here, especially since I paid for the expedited process. So, and went down to the federal building myself in person. So, that expedited things. So, you know, once they get this in their hand, I have a feeling it's all just going to go click, 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 and I'll have it quickly. And then I get my visa that can get connected to my passport, and then I'm good to go. So, anyways, enough about the passport. It's stressful though. I've been stressing out over this damn passport for a long time, so it's just like, right. Anyway, so surprised Mr. Capaldi didn't show up here. So, yeah, that's about it. Yeah, she's going back to Cali, Cali. Hey, there's Captain. Hey, there's just speaking of the devil. I mean, there's Captain Crunch. I mean, he didn't get the notice again. Yeah, well, a lot of people didn't. There's only 17 people watching. That could be because I'm talking about something as boring as a passport, but you know, whatever. Oh yeah. So where's the money? I spent it on passport. I spent it to expedite my passport, Trav. I'll be doing probably several lives from Australia. And I'm gonna be recording with my GoPro the whole time. Like I said, I'm taking my that usually is connected to my computer here in my studio. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can't. It doesn't have a long enough cord for me to bring it in front of the camera. But it's a 5 terabyte hard drive. I'm gonna be taking that with me so that I can each at the end of each day um, cut all of the footage from the GoPro and drop it into a folder on my little hard drive here, and then that way each day I'll be starting out with empty memory in the GoPro. So I intend to be running the camera a whole bunch while I'm there, getting as much footage as possible. I'd love to be sitting down with as many Australian supporters as possible and doing little interviews like I did with Rhonda recently and Julie recently when I did the little sit down with them and that sort of thing. I would love to do that with, and like I did with JB when I was in Utah. So I would love to do that with as many Australian supporters as possible. Um, you know, that's some of the things that I intend to be doing while I'm there. Hopefully, going to try to travel around as much as possible, get as close to as many people as possible, so that hopefully, as many of us all can meet up as possible, and we can do little crowd, shots and crowd videos where we whatever, we can toss things around when we all meet up, anyways. But yeah, I have plans to be doing lots of video and yes, lives as well. The lives are a tricky thing because I have to have a good internet connection, or I have to use cell signal, and that has to be a good connection too. If that's not a good connection, the live won't work. So that's the only one thing that's kind of a bummer that limits me on lives. So we would have to do lives like in public and stuff. We would have to be somewhere close to internet to where we could hook into internet or whatever. So, anyways. So that's some of those are some of the mountains to face. But that's why, like I said, that's why I plan to have my GoPro with me every day while I'm there, and I intend to be running it constantly and get as much footage and everything. Just because I know that I may not have the best cell signal or Wi-Fi everywhere I go there. So but I'm sure the Australian supporters will know where to be able to get these things. And I'm sure you all can direct me to the places where we'll be able to get these things. So I will obviously defer to the Australian supporters when it comes down to where we should meet up. Happy in America. Captain, he just took a stab at seeking. Climbing Sydney, Harbor Ridge. Too much havering. Watch out. Watch out for drop bears. Tell Dundee I said hi. Yeah. I'll tell him you said put another shrimp on the Barbie. Put that on my Facebook. When I was leaving to come back to Cali last month, I went over quite well. Going back to Cali. Jersey Night Rider and Rudolph are gonna feel the competition. Yeah, there you go. We are going to be going to see both shows with Drizzen, Knight Rider, and Rudolph, by the way. And maybe I might be able to get to talk to David Rudolph after one of the shows. Who knows? We'll have to see. Climb the bridge via free BDSA. Okay. Let's see. With a free BD and SA flag. Yeah. Here you go. If you come to Adelaide, happy to show you around. Don't want to be interviewed though. I only want the people that are proud to show their support. So we may be in Adelaide anyway, though. So you know, there may be other supporters there that we may come to see who do want to be on camera and who do want to show their support for Stephen and Brendan, and because that's kind of the whole point of this, taking a tour to show off all the people out there that care about this. And this is unique because we're going to be going around Australia and showing many as possible supporters of Stephen and Brendan. So that's the whole idea. So, well, Panobs, if you're around, I'm pretty sure I probably have some other subscribers there in Adelaide who are brave and are willing to be on camera and show their support and help the cause. So you may get to see me anyway. So we'll have to see how it all plays out. I just don't know what it's going to look like yet because I'm more worried about getting my passport sorted. You don't got to lie to kick it. Let's see. Oh, wow, really? Moved on to... All right, then. Great. I love it, Panobs. There you go. It's all about the support. It's all about showing off. That there's people all around the world that are giving a crap. I mean, that's what makes it worth me going to Australia, is to show people that on my channel, is that there are people around the world who came to meet up with a YouTuber from America to create awareness for Stephen and Brendan. And that's the kind of stuff that we're going to be able to do while I'm there. That's going to have punch, and it's going to hopefully create some attention and some noise. And that's what I'm hoping to do. That's the idea here. That's what I'm really hoping for. And, it's, I intend to have a lot of fun. I mean, there's more than a couple of my Australian supporters who I have had pretty close contact with on Facebook and through Messenger and stuff like that over the last year and a half, 2 years. So I'm really excited to meet those folks, to be perfectly honest. So I'm excited to meet a lot of people there in Australia, actually. It's going to be great. And like I said, this is going to be a big deal to help create awareness for Stephen and Brendan and show people, some of the passion that's happening on a completely different continent, halfway around the world, practically. You know what I mean? And it's going to be interesting. Where the toilets go, where the water goes down in the toilets and the sinks the opposite direction, even. I mean, only thing those three will be climbing is off the floor and back at the bar stools. Oh, I know we're gonna have trouble. We're gonna be constantly having to drag the Havering Scotsman out of the bars. He's already telling me that by the time I get off the plane, he's going to have been pounding scotch for 3 hours. I was like, oh, great. That sounds great. I'm going to get off the plane to the drunk Scotsman breathing freaking scotch all in my face. I intend to bring more than 3 control question t-shirts. Michelle, one of my subscribers, I don't know if she's here today on this channel, but she was over on my live earlier on my other channel. Michelle, she has been wanting a shirt for a while, but the astronomical cost of shipping overseas or to a different country has been making me hold back. And then when I finally realized I was going to be going to Australia, I decided to hold off. I was going to send it, but then I decided to hold off and wait, and I was going to take it to her in person. And I intend to have a bunch more of my control question t-shirts with me there when I go to Australia. So hopefully we'll be able to, sell a couple maybe, maybe just, give some away in some little live giveaways while we're there hanging out in Australia. I don't know. These are all just vague ideas, but I will have the control question t-shirts with me, and Michelle will definitely be getting hers finally. You'll get contact drunk. Yeah, from Paul, absolutely I will. Totally. I've tried Vegemite. Yeah, it doesn't sound very good, does it? Yeah. That's one thing I told Mr. Whodunit Hodnot. I love it. Somebody called him Whodunit Hodnot last night. That was awesome. But I was telling him, I go, no Vegemite. He's like, oh man. He goes, that's standard, man. You get one of those right when you get off the plane. They all may need legal representation. I don't know if Travis's legal license would extend to Australia. Scotch on the crunch berries. Oh, sorry. Scotch on the crunch berries. There you go. I've told you guys about the crunchberry wine, right? Yeah, anyway. So, anyways, yeah. So I'm excited about the trip to Australia. I haven't been talking about it on my main channel so much. I want to wait. I just want to be more sure that passport is coming, before I really start to get too excited about it. So I'm over here on this channel. Probably better that there's only about 15 or 17 people in here. Because I don't want to create a big old deal about this and find out that I'm going to continue running into roadblocks like this, because that would totally suck. But if this is just a tiny issue and me sending it across and sending it over is all that needs to happen, then it should happen quickly. It should be in plenty of time, and we can all get together and have a lot of fun in Australia. Obviously, you guys will all be able to see me at either one of the Knight Rider, Drizzt, Rudolph shows. Any of you that are going to those, you'll be able to see me and Mark and Paul there. So there's two places where you can pin me down right now. That's where you can find me when I'm there. Is you can find me at those two shows. Beyond that, I don't know exactly yet. But trust me, in the next week, as you know, once I have that passport in my hand, you guys are going to see me being really excited, and you're going to see me be going on Making a Murderer instead of here on Doctor Who. And you're going to see me talking about it in earnest and trying to create a bunch of the excitement and talking about a lot of the things that you saw me talking about here today. Probably going to end up fielding a lot of questions, like some of the questions here today. But I'm going to be doing it on my main channel where it's more mainstream, more in creating a little more awareness and excitement about it. And so, but yeah, preliminary at this moment, I'm playing it a little bit conservative because I'm just, especially now after getting this letter today, I'm like, and so I just want to make sure I got that thing in my hand before I really start to get excited about it. I remember when I got my passport, I was happy dancing all over the place. I was so excited. I'm excited for you. I've always wanted to go to Australia. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be cool. It's kind of this is an exciting opportunity for me to be able to go there and see these shows and to do this and create this support on my channel for Brendan and Stephen. And And even Michael Peterson, because David Rudolph is there. So, and for just criminal justice, reform in general, to get criminal justice back to what it was meant to be, not what it's kind of somewhat been perverted into in a lot of ways. But anyway, it's exciting to be able to go to these shows and be able to, I don't know. I'm hoping I might be able to cover them a little bit while I'm there and use my GoPro while I'm there, but there may be a restriction on that, that I won't be able to do that. In which case, okay, that's fine. I'll always respect it. Um, Hoping to meet up with David Rudolph afterwards, possibly, in the hopes that I might be able to sit with him for just a couple minutes and talk about the owl theory for everybody. Hopefully, just a couple ideas that I've been tossing around that I'm going to try. I'm going to try everything I can. I'm going to try to get as much fun stuff and as much interesting stuff as I can. And I think being in Australia and showing the support for Stephen and Brendan and showing these shows, and all these things and talking about these shows, hopefully is going to be an exciting week for everybody. So as soon as I have that passport, I encourage everybody to start sharing about it and talking about it on Twitter or on Facebook, wherever you want to talk about it. But just let me get that thing in my hand first, because that's the one thing I'm waiting for before I get really excited about it. That's why I'm still like subdued and not getting too carried away. But yeah, anyway. 15. I thought it's 11 hours. Anyway, I don't know. Thank you, Donna Marie Snowden. So if we see you dancing in your next vid, we know you got your passport. Yeah. Well, my next vid's probably gonna be tomorrow on Sunday. But if you see me dancing in a video, say around Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, then yeah, you'll probably know I have my passport. Yeah, like I said, I'm because I was on top of this and was working and moving on it as quickly as I could when I realized I'd have this opportunity to go, that I would be able to put it together. It was, yeah, I started immediately on getting the passport thing, and just I made sure I was dotting every I and crossing every T. I never saw anything that said that they were supposed to take my original. Had I saw anything that said that, I would have been making sure I shoved it in his face and made sure that he didn't let me walk away with it. But literally every other I and every other I is dotted and every other T is crossed, because I was just going through it, literally going and visiting post offices and talking to the passport agents and just going over and over. Okay, what's required just to make sure? How do I need, how does it need to be? Blah, blah, blah. And just again and again, just to make sure. I wanted to have it all set when I went down there. So that's what makes this annoying for me, because I was doing all that. And then this ends up happening. It's just kind of a pain. But like I said, because I've been diligent, I'm not super cramped on time. It's tight, but I'm not super cramped. A couple day delay here will still be manageable. So I think we're okay. Ooh, that's another point. That's a good point. Australia may not want me to. They may limit what I can do. We know that my certain content of mine is banned in Australia. But I suppose if I don't talk about I suppose that if I don't talk about Miss Bruton, that I probably won't have any trouble with that. Well, thanks, Cap. Slithers to the grass like a devil. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. So and I'm looking forward to going and talking about it on my main channel, you know, and getting and hearing, you know, a lot of other the supporters from Australia getting, you know, excited about it. I mean, I just think this could be a whole lot of fun. I think even for the American and even the other international supporters, I think this whole thing could just be a hoot. It could just be a lot of fun, a lot of, you know, educational awareness and showing people, you know, that international support, because I can tell you that the reason why I know that showing off the international support is such a big deal is because that's what the camera crews went right to. When I was at Raleigh last year, the camera crews went right for it. There was a Dutch couple there, and the camera crews went right for it. Both camera crews right for it. Even and then there was one news station crew that came and right for it. And then to Mark, you know, Mark Hodnott. And then, you know, so like I said, that they know that is convincing, that they know that when you see people from all over the world showing up in Manitowoc like that, when they see the support of people around the world, that shows that has it has an effect, you know, it's, you know, it people that see that start to wonder if they previously had an opinion about the case. When they see that, they begin to wonder if maybe they didn't give it a fair look, possibly, right? Anyways, when it's just when people see that people in a completely different country that isn't infected by this in any way at all feel so passionate about it, it resonates. It has an effect. So that's going to be another big thing about this trip that's going to be so special, and it's going to be really fun, and I can't wait to meet everybody there. So oh, but Megan has gotten 2 or 3 of my videos uh, banned in Australia and basically unavailable in Australia because I was talking about her. I was using stuff from official documents, official investigation documents, but she still managed to get it banned. So I don't know. That tells me that Australia either doesn't bother to check their facts or something. I don't know what to say. I mean, I didn't say anything in there that was merely opinion about her. I wasn't just defaming her like without proof. I was reading from court documents and investigation documents in the Scott Davis case. So it's just like, you know, but YouTube in Australia did that. So anyway, I was actually getting ready to wind it down. You know, we were talking about my passport, Linda, and we were talking about the weird thing that happened, and then we were talking about what I plan to do when me and Paul are in Australia, and some of the cool stuff we're planning to get up to while we're there. And you should go back and rewatch it for sure, though, Linda. Absolutely. Of course you were. He's here. He's arguing right now. Yeah. He likes it when you call him. He likes it when you call him the Scotsman, because you know his family's vineyards there in Scotland. Look, my client gave me this. Look, it's from the Crunchberry Vineyards, right here, right there. Like I said, you know. So now Crunchberries are nasty, and I would never drink it. But anyway. Crunchberry wine. What are you arguing? What's your pom pom? What are you going on about? Everyone has it like it. Oh. Yeah, hit the like button, folks. So let's listen to a little Stacy while we wind it down.
Power on.
I'm not singing anymore because you guys are all, there's some haters out there. So, but I'll play Stacy. Where'd my phone go? Ooh.
So let's keep talking about Avery. Yeah, let's keep talking till he's set free. Oh, you just listen, I think you'll see why it matters.
My mood changed? Are you talking about me,
Really
Martha
matter.
Dickinson? My mood didn't change. I just decided to start
Put
wrapping it
aside
up and
the
cut to Stacy.
documentary, the state's version Ludiocracy. Oh, all their claims so blatantly get torn to tatters. I think that matters.
Okay, got it, Julie. Got it, Pom Pom.
I bet you heard about her last sweat, but maybe you ain't heard this yet. 19 more times the DNA that was left anywhere else that day. I think that matters. I really do. I think it matters. An ex-boyfriend with a day planner page, and yet they did not investigate. And who knows why, and who can say why he was signed into the crime scene that day. I think that matters. I really do. I think it matters. About the barrel that once was seized, but then returned to the Averys. The bones were found the next day, but not one photograph exists of where they lay. I think that matters. I really do. I think it matters. I could go on listing things off, 80 more things. I just keep on singing these songs. To Avery, freedom rings. I said it matters. It really, I know it matters. It could be you, I think it matters. It could be me, I know it matters. Work with Casey, it matters. I said it matters. It really matters. Get on the train before it leaves the station. Wisconsin versus Avery, a complete fabrication. Get on the train before it leaves town. The truth train coming, gonna run them down, run them down. And we all know Stephen and Brendan were blamed, but it does not take a brain surgeon to see that they were framed. Yes, we know what this was about. The civil suit settlement they did not want to pay out, And you may hear this song, or maybe you don't get it. I suggest you look up TikTok, Manitowoc on Reddit. You will find trial transcripts, evidence files, and reports, and you start to fathom the corruption within the courts. Now as you shake your head because everything seems demented, you will find yourself in company of 3 unbanked judges that dissented. But don't you worry, you're not going insane. You just happen to sit down on Zellner's Truth Train. Get on the train. I said before it leaves the station, with final destination, inevitable exoneration. Get on the train. Or before it leaves town, the truth train coming, gonna run them down, run them down. Get on the train. Don't get straight, no, I ain't getting straight. Don't get straight, I ain't getting straight. I'm sick of the suffering, can't stand the pain. Don't get straight. Well, we know the story, going the way they said. We can see
Plain as day, they got to Brendan's head. Totally insane. Don't get strange.
Everything they got, questionable evidence gathered by Manny Wall, but it makes such sense why they're in the game. Don't get strange. Don't get straight, no. Oh, now I ain't getting straight. Don't get straight. I ain't getting straight.
He's a legal state.
And that lying,
That cheating, that predatory sweat, yeah. Anything he says, you can throw away. He's a legal state. Don't get strange. Everybody find out who's to blame. Don't get strange. All righty, folks. All right. Thank you for tuning in and helping me get an idea of what the heck happened here. So thanks for that. Just, hard for me to believe that they make such an obvious mistake as to hand me back something they need. But, what am I going to do? So if you haven't already, please hit subscribe, everybody, and we'll see ya.